Hey, fellow hunters, and today we got a goddamn good one, and I guarantee you want to hit this hard. But I will have to bring out today. First of all, gonna just drop the hint for the chapter because let's be honest, half of you are just gonna skip to it anyway. So I'll just put a chapter in so you can just see the build, slot it in. Because sometimes it's not about learning how a build works. You just want to slap it on and murder stuff, which is completely fine with me. But now that everyone's left, and I'm pretty sure everyone's left. Yeah, it sounds good now. Gonna be putting in all the commenters now. Every commenter that helped me, you are in this. Gonna be put right here. You're gonna be here, and yeah, just big thanks to all of you. You guys have been the goats. You guys helped me get to this third version of the build, I guess, and I'm excited to bring it for you guys. And without further ado, because let's be honest, I don't want to sit here. Let's get right into the video. Alright, now on to the skills what makes the build a build. So, to start off, I'm going to get right into it. It's Gormagala. No surprise there. Everything's Gormagala. The purple menace is just everywhere. So, we're taking advantage of Gormagala because Gormagala by itself gives you 15% affinity. This gets buffed again by using 1 slot decorations on a defensive skill, which is disgusting value for what it's worth, which gives you 25%. This gets rounded off quite nicely with the Ardian Weapon, which because you're doing all attack bonuses gives you 5%, which gives you 30. So, by proccing it now, you will get obviously 30%. Next off, we're going to be talking about Mighty. Mighty is just, it's good because you're never off the floor. Which kind of sucks for Insect Glaive because you do majority of your damage if and when you're on the ground, like as you can see. So, you're going to be wanting to get, obviously, your Sane, all that stuff, and then you'll get 30% raw. And then by adding the maximum might from it, which is also level 2 decorations, which is good value for the slottage, you get another 30%. The last comes from weakness exploit, which is 30%, giving you 90%, and then the wounds is an extra plus 20%, giving you a nice, clean 110% on a wound, which is kind of sucky. I tried playing with Agitator, but I just couldn't really stick it in there, so instead we're going to take advantage of another 2-slot decoration, which we're going to get into right now. There's actually 2 versions of this set that I'm going to show you today. One is just 1 extra skill. This is the one that I've been using, though, because it just looks a little cleaner on the spreadsheet, as you can see. So, we're going to be taking advantage of, obviously, Tenderizer. You're going to be slotting in an Exploiter Charm, because 30% affinity plus another 20% is kind of insane when you think about it. Gives you good value for what it's worth. Then we're going to be hitting yourself with a Mighty, giving you another 30%, as I said. And then Antivirus, all that good stuff gives you what you need. Also, this is not right. I don't know what I screwed up here. This is the wrong build. This is supposed to be a counter. That is my bad. So, you are going to have... This is what the build's going to look like. Copy and paste it here, get the gems, all that good stuff. So, the only qualm I have is I couldn't fit 1-piece earplugs in, which would have been pretty nice, because earplugs is pretty good this time around, at least in this Hunter series. So, this is the build you're going to run. It has pretty solid jewels right there, as you can see. Most of everything is filled up to the max, which is nice for us. The only issue is I don't have a flight attack charm. You're just going to want to slot in as much damage as possible. The flight jewel you're going to take, because now it actually works, it gives you a 10% bonus on all attacks that are in the air, which is good for the rising slash, which is majority of your damage. And if you want to hit as hard as these, which I'll have a comparison, I'm going to throw up the 2 videos now, comparison of me using this build and my old build, it's kind of crazy. You're hitting for 300 and 200. So, as the knowledge of how much damage it does, I'm going to be showing off the other version of it, which is by taking advantage of the Udra Meyerhelm. It's literally the same thing, but instead of getting Mighty in 1 armor set, you get Counter-Strike, and then 1 extra Resentment to throw into your thing, which is just another 5 extra raw, which gives you a pretty hard bonus. And this is definitely better by 5 damage, so if you're into that, it's pretty good. As for the weapon, we're going to be using the Ardian Weapon, of course. Boo, I know. It's so unbasic. I wish they didn't do this, because it kind of defeats the point of, monster hunting to get a new weapon to hunt. But anyways, you're going to want attack, affinity, not affinity, attack, handicraft. This one, unfortunately, I was so close. I got attack boost 3 times and 1 affinity boost, but for now I'm using it until I can get a perfect one. And yeah, once you have that, you can switch to this build or use my original build, which was the taking advantage of the Azu's headdress, which it's the same thing. It just looks a little cleaner on here, and you don't have just 1 random slot, which this is wrong. It's supposed to be a counter. My bad. I don't know. I'm actually going to change that right now just so I don't forget. But it's literally the same thing except you get one extra piece of a skill, which gives you 5 raw, which is, it can be substantial because 5 raw is pretty large. But yeah, I digress because it's up to personal preference. If you just want to have like a cleaner look to your build instead of just having 1 point of resentment, if you care about that like me, then just swap it out. It's not really a big deal. But yeah, and then let's just get like a real quick damage test. Let me just throw this in there, get all the little beads, and yeah, this is probably the final high rank one that I build, just because it'd be pretty difficult to excuse me, it'd be pretty difficult to get a better build than this. Oh, that's why. So I don't really know. Like, I tried playing with Agitator. The issue is then you don't really get that as much affinity hits unless you're on a wound. Like, it is nice raw, but like other than that, I couldn't really play with it. Like, if you're going heroics, obviously, which if I hear anything about heroics, I don't want to hear it. It only works if you're like a speedrunner and you know exactly what you're doing. And then it's not as good as the skill as the other ones. And then plus, we're gonna have to deal with like how your loss of infinity. I tried my best because the issue with the Agitator is you need a lot of slottage for it to have 20% affinity, and then again it's a circumstance thing where it has to be in rage, which most monsters, if you do play really well, you can probably one tap them in one rotation if you're good enough, or in a team at least. But yeah, so this is the best I could come up with. It's pretty solid. It doesn't really have any real ways you could improve it, I don't think. If you do know one, tell me, and I will. Then it has to be really substantial, though. Like, it has to be substantial enough that I can see it and be like, wow, that's a lot more damage. Like, this one hits for 300 on a like wound, so it'd be pretty hard to upgrade what I made here. But yeah, obviously hitting for 201 on that is pretty insane too. And I don't even have my thingy. 1 minute. I need to get there you go. And then I'm going to get some resentment just to show you the max damage of a rising slash. Come on, there we go. And let's just get it. Let's get her done. Boom, 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 and I didn't do it right. Anyways, it hits for 260 with resentment on ish. Depends on where you hit it. And obviously, if you do want to have like a, I guess you could slot an Agitator if you really want. It's just you have to swap out a lot of stuff, and then you don't really get the advantage of having the other ones on. So it's really up to preference, I guess. But yeah, I've got this thing hitting for 313. I think the max is with everything on, and without a food skill. The food skill on right now is a what's it called, boost. So it's not going to increase the damage. But yeah, this thing is disgusting. It kills everything with ease, so there's not really a worry about that. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and thank you again to everyone that helped build this build. I put obviously all the comments up. And of course, same as last time, if you know something and to make this build better, give me a shout. I will make a 4th video, but this is probably as good as it's going to get right now with the armor sets we have, with playing for the most average player, obviously, without taking out heroics and stuff. But yeah, hope you enjoyed, and happy hunting, hunters.